I jumped on the MGTOW platform about 6 years ago, maybe even seven. Time just flies, you lose track of time. But I was at a very dark spot in my life, and I stayed there for many, many years. Uh, you know, Consuming alcohol and addicted to drugs and negativity and just chaos, man, in my life, right? And the thing is, what I truly believe is that the state that you're in is the kind of people you're going to attract into your life. Like, it's weird, right? Because I got into spirituality and these universal laws and as above, so below, and cause and effect, and law of attraction, and law of oneness, and all this stuff, right? And they keep saying over and over in these videos that our life, our reality is just like a mere reflection of our state of mind. The person that we've become, we're going to project out into the world and to start attracting all these people like a mirror, right? They're going to mirror it back to us to show us basically how we're being and how we're acting, right? I don't know, man. Like, you want to get into different deep dives, and you start tuning into David Icke and all this other stuff. Like, I got his book coming called The Reveal. Like, he's been a conspiracy theorist for years and years and years, decades, man. And the information that he has is just mind blowing, right? Or down to like, you know, you want to know what about reality and how it works and who's running the show. You want to tune into him, right? So this has been my mission, right? My mission has basically been to try to heal myself, get out of the negative mental state, get clean from the booze, get clean from the drugs, and become a better version of myself. I mean, a lot of us, I think that is a good purpose in life, right? I think that's a good goal in life. Unless you want to stay in the same funk, the same situation, and have the same boring life. Maybe it's a fucked up life, whatever it is, until you die. I mean, what fun is that, right? But along the way, you meet mentors that kind of give you a glimpse into different aspects of reality. And, so I was scrolling through YouTube and I found my mentor, Wes Watson, and the thing is, the rules were pretty simple. I mean, the program was pretty simple. It's basically just give up on the booze, give up on the alcohol and the booze and the drugs, and start self-development, start working out, and become a better version of yourself. And so that's what I started to do, right? And well, now I'm at a stage where, you know, all these years later, I got red pilled back, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago, when people were coming out with just stuff that was not mainstream, was like basically lifting the veil between the material world and the spirit world, right? Just lifting the veil of illusion that the society has basically programmed us into through false beliefs and indoctrinations, and through the news and through education and through politics. And we've all been brainwashed to think a certain way because they need us in that low negative state, that low negative vibration, because you can be easily controlled when you're in that state of mind. When you're living in fear, when you're living in, shame and guilt and depression, and like, you can be easily controlled. You'll buy into anything, right? You'll start believing what you're actually hearing is true, and it's only true if you believe it to be true, right? And this is the thing. Then you start to see through it all, man. You start to see through all the bullshit. You start to see through all the lies. You start to see through all the propaganda, and everything kind of loses its meaning. Everything really uh, becomes dull, and you lose the excitement in life, man. And that's where the depression, and they call it this, the dark night of the soul, comes in, where you get this realization that you've been duped your whole life, even through sports. And I can use sports as one of those things, because I mean, I used to watch hockey a lot. I was a devoted friggin' Leaf fan, right? And there's more jokes about the Leafs than there are about anything else, right? I mean, 1967 is the last time they won the cup, and they're not going to win it anytime soon, right? And the thing is, these Leaf fans, these diehard Leaf fans, they just never give up. They'll just keep watching them lose and lose and lose and lose and lose. And then there was a poll that they did about the people who drink the most, uh, according to their hockey team, and the Leafs were number one. I think this is half the reason why I became an alcoholic, watching those stupid Leafs, man. Like, unreal. So I just lost the even to even watch the game anymore. It was just like, I put on a game, all I see is advertisement and commercials, advertisement and commercials. It's all set up, man. It's all friggin', everything is all friggin' rigged, man. The whole thing is rigged. I believe it is. I believe sports is rigged to a certain extent. And it's money, and it's politics, and corporate, and everything else, man. And the Leafs make more money off of losing than they do winning. So they're going to keep losing because they'll still get the revenue. People still show up to their games. People still dress up and put on the jersey and the hat and go and support them, even though they know they're going to lose, right? Oh, no, this is the year kind of thing, right? And I did that for fucking 30 years, man. And like, take an antidepressant and get yourself a dozen beer, watch a Leaf game, and then hopefully they win, right? But this is the thing. And then the politics and all this other stuff, like the Simpsons were predicting all this stuff through politics, about the, a woman president being brought into power. And then they talked about Trump and how he died, right, in one of the episodes, but it got messed up. Like, they got a lot of stuff right. They got, the 911 was right. The trade towers were right. There's a lot of stuff they got right, but apparently the assassination part, and they missed them, and it didn't happen. So I knew all along, just like when Biden was like in charge of the show, I knew that Trump was coming back because it was set up that way. And they think that your votes matter, but they don't. It's just a game. It's one of their scripts. It's one of their things that they got. Everybody's got a script. Everybody's got a system that's being run. Like, it's when you start to dive deep and you start to understand how everything actually works in this reality, and why things work in this reality, and how it's set up, and how you're being manipulated by your perception, and what you focus on, and what you think about, and how it becomes your reality, and you think that this life is happening to you, and you have no control over it. I mean, this is the thing. People then go to religion, and then they go to other stuff as a savior, like, and it's just one big farce. The whole thing is one big farce, one big play on perception, one big illusion, man. And once you understand these things, man, it gets depressing as well, because now you've seen the light, and it's like everything kind of loses its meaning. So for me, I got through all that stuff. Um, you know, I just started to say, you know what, I got to focus on myself. I have a hard time making friends for whatever reason. Like I said in my last video, the better you treat people, the quicker they turn on you. So I give up on that. I was always a loner. I was always a MGTOW, doing my own thing, carving my own path, and trying to stay off the grid and away from all the bullshit, the propaganda, and the advertising, and all this stuff that people are focused on as a distraction. There's these 9 to 5ers who go to work, and to pay for their mortgage, and to pay for their car, and all this other shit, and this loop they got them in. that they'll never have their freedom, that they're always going to be tied and attached to their job and to their mortgage. And these things end up owning them, right? They don't realize it. And of course, that's just the way it is. That's the way it's set up. And well, times have changed, of course, over the past few years with online, internets and doing things online and becoming successful online. You got kids, teenagers, who are driving around in friggin' Bugattis, right? Like fancy Lamborghinis and everything, because they're doing stuff on YouTube and getting paid large for it, right? I mean, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I just decided that I need to simplify my life. And the simpler my life is, the less stress that I have. And the less stress that I have, the more peace that I have. And I think peace is, above all, the most important thing to have. Your peace and your health. And, everything else is just, the novelty wears off. And you ain't impressing anybody because nobody really cares. This is the thing. So focus on being a better version of yourself. Get into shape. Pick a hobby. Educate yourself. And become more and more attuned to what's going on around you. And all the shit that they're trying to do. Basically is the name of the game. So that being said, thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.